Good evening, everyone. Hope you are doing very, very good. So, we were discussing the Biago question and the answers for the same. But before completing that question, let's focus on reading some concepts and then we will come back to that question. So these concepts are used in that question. So once you understand these concepts, then you will understand how to implement it. So today we are going to start with quick revision of reporting to stakeholders and integrated reporting. As I have told in multiple chapters, stakeholders, who are our stakeholders? Anyone who is getting affected by us or anyone who we are getting affected by. This can be our suppliers, right? Customers, government, everybody. Everybody are our stakeholders. And integrated reporting, always remember, as an organizations, we have some reportings that are to be done. And it depends on various types of capitals, and we will discuss in this chapter into detail. So, before starting this chapter, we need to understand what do you mean by institutional investors. Now we need to understand that sometimes our business needs fund. So now what we do, we take funds from various parties. First is we can use our own money. Second is we can take from another person or another institution whose work is to give funds and manage funds. So basically, what they do, they are also individuals, but they invest funds in the businesses. So they are all significant shareholders. You have seen Shark Tank. They are nothing but a type of institutional investors, not exactly institutional investors, but an example, right? So obviously, when they have significant shareholding, they will have influence over companies' governance. Now, the various types of institutional investors are: first is the pension funds. Now see, when we get the salary from the company, some money is deducted on the name of pension funds, and then it is given to us at the time of retirement. So until then, this money is invested by the pension funds into various schemes, and through the interest that and income that they earn, they provide the pension fund in future. So the first type is pension fund. Second is assurance companies. Like you might have heard various life insurance policies, term policies, where they take premium from us and then after some years they provide us some lump sum amount or some fixed amount after retirement. So even the life insurance companies, what they do, they invest it into various companies. Third is the unit trust and the investment trust. So these are basically the companies, what they do, all the trust, they take from many investors, they take the money, let's say there are 10 small investors, A, B, C, D, E, F, many. So now from all these, what they will do, from all these they will collect the money. Let's say from everyone they collected thousand rupees, and now this $1,000 they will invest into companies. So these trusts are also the institutional investors. Now you need to understand now how institutional shareholders can intervene in a company when they have concerns. So as first we talk, they have a huge shareholding because they have invested in our company. So they have the voting power also. So they can make decisions, they can make changes in our company. Right? So the first thing is for the strategy. Now, if they have concerns for the products that we are selling, let's say we have decided to sell some XYZ product, but now we are selling ABC. So they might ask question. Or when we are deciding to take expansion. So in all the important decisions, their vote would be a key. So they would also intervene in that. Second is the operational performance. At the end of the day, the institutional investors want to earn profit. That's why they have invested in our company. So they will make sure that the divisions are performing well. If they are underperforming, they will have a concern. Third is the acquisition and disposable. As I told, ki whenever we want to do expansion or whenever we have to dispose or acquire a new product, then these all things are also to be kept in mind that the institutional shareholder can intervene in that also. The next is the remuneration policies. Like when we don't have a remuneration committee, then whatever the extreme rewards that a company is planning to give to anybody, so it will have to take in consideration all the institutional investors because see, you need to understand that wherever huge money is to be spent, before that, the discussion has to be done with the institutional investor. Otherwise, he will not do the voting, right? So, for all important decisions, he will have to discuss. Then the next is whenever there is internal control failure. Let's say there was some failure in quality control or in budget control. Obviously, the person, the institutional investor will raise his concern because his money is invested. It's simple now. If you have invested 100 rupees in a company, you will want that company to grow, right? If the total capital of that company is only 150, out of that 100 is yours, so you are equal partner in that. So you would want that all the decisions are taken with your consideration, with your consultation, and accordingly the planning is done. Then the succession planning failure to balance board composition or recommend replacement properly. So sometimes if there is a lack of success planning, then also a intervention concern might be raised. And always remember, each company has a social responsibility. When the company doesn't follow the social responsibility, then also the intervention will be raised. So now, what can happen in exam? In exam, they will give you a scenario. In scenario, they will give you various things. This is a company, these are the points where there is failure of internal controls or social responsibility. And now they will ask you consider where the institutional investor will intervene. Right? So there we will have to understand what are the points and then answer accordingly. Now we need to understand what are the disclosures. So now the AGM is the most important opportunity for directors to communicate with shareholders. Now see, in every year there is one AGM. AGM is nothing but annual general meeting where all the shareholders are called and the board keeps their point in front of shareholders. The annual report and accounts are often the only information shareholders receive. Now see the annual report and accounts that are all going to be received by shareholders because that are compulsory by the government that we need to inform the shareholders. But also at the same time, the general principle of disclosures are also required that the stakeholders are aware. Okay, these are the additional things that a stakeholder must know. Right. So one are the mandatory disclosures that as per the law we have to give. And then to become more transparent, we should do more better disclosures. We should inform the shareholders all the key events, all the many things that they should know. All the most important word here is transparency. There should be transparency between the board and shareholders. So if we'll improve the disclosures, so the transparency will increase. Now, first we discuss what is institutional investors, where they can intervene, then what are the disclosures that are made to stakeholders. Now we need to understand what do you mean by sustainability. Today, everywhere we are talking about sustainability. Basically, sustainability is nothing but, in simple terms, sustainable development is nothing but development that meets the need of present without compromising the ability of future generation to make their own needs. Basically, we are saving the resources or we are matlab the consumption we are trying to reduce so that in future we are able to use the same thing. Right? Basically, let's say we have 10 cups of tea. And now we want it for 10 years. Now, if we use all the 10 tubs in 1 year, will we have it for future years? No. But if we use it only 1 year, one cup tea, now more 9 years, we will have more nine. So sustainability is basically we are meeting the needs of present that we needed only one cup. So we use that one cup. We are not using in excess so that in future also we can use the same simple things. So when we talk about sustainability and environment, the three things that we should keep in mind is first is the resource consumption. Like we discussed the example of tea. So how much a company is using the resources of environment, like energy, water, materials, how much they are using. Second is pollution. How much pollution is the environment getting because of our company? Right. And third is measurement. So we will be measuring this consumption on qualitative and quantitative both factors. We need to understand that actual impact currently and in future total, how is the impact happening. So now this is what we will discussing is the environmental footprint. Now there is also social footprint. Now what do you mean by social footprint? So now you need to understand that sustainability across all three areas of capital. Now you will ask me, sir, what do you mean by three areas of capital? You will need multiple capitals in future also. Now the basic three capitals related to sustainability are human, social, and constructive. So now what do you mean by human capital? Right? So the personal health of people, the knowledge of people, skills, experience that the individual is having. This is our human capital. See, the basic meaning of capital is our money. But when we are not talking about financial capital, here we are talking about human capital. So, what is the human capital? The employees we have, the health, the knowledge, the skills and experience that the employees have is our human capital. Second is our social capital. Now, what do you mean by social capital? The network of people that we have, right? We have created huge network. We are a social person, so it will help our business to grow in future. This is not cannot be counted in financial terms, but it is a qualitative aspect, social capital. So the network of people that we have, right? So it will help us to have more effective actions in future. So second was social capital. Third is a constructed capital. Whatever the material things that we have created, constructed. The name itself says the technologies, the tools, the infrastructure, whatever we have produced, the people have produced, which we can use, is nothing but the constructed capital. So for the social footprint, the three types of capital are human capital, social capital, and constructed capital. Right. So, as we discussed the sustainable development, now what do you mean by sustainability audit? Basically, it auditing the same thing, the environment management system, the arrangements done by the entity. When we are auditing the same to check how much sustainable the organization is nothing but sustainability audit. Now you need to understand. Now we studied what is sustainability, what is environmental footprint, what is social footprint. Now how we are going to report it, right? There should be some measure. So now how we can seek environment? So by measures of emission, how much pollution we are creating, how much waste we are creating, how much greenhouse gases we are creating. So we are measuring the emission so that we will understand, okay, these are the measures of emission. And second, how much consumption we are doing of energy, of resources. So this consumption plus measure of emission. So this will help us in doing the environmental reporting. Now, as we are talking about environment reporting, same is the social reporting. In social reporting, we have to talk about how our employees have human rights. how is our workplace, how is our employees treated, how is the pay fair, how we are doing business practices, we are not hiring minorities, we don't have any caste discriminations. So this is all our social responsibility. And how we are going to do the social reporting? By giving clear disclosures relating to human rights, workplace occupations, training and employee issues, fair pay, fair business practices. Now you need to understand, if we report the social and environmental reporting, what are the advantages? First, the investors will have more confidence on us, right? So now the investors will put our money in our company because they know that our company is doing everything correctly. Obviously, the customers will also see, okay, this company is sustainable, this is environmental, social friendly, so it will influence companies' buying decisions. Then, obviously, when we do social reporting, the employees will understand, okay, this is a good company to work in, there is good culture. So now employees will use this company and will give preference to this company, right? And obviously, as there are regulations, so we will have completion of all the compliances, every regulatory, right? And all these things will have a good impact, good corporate governance. So our share price will increase and there will be transparency of data. And at the same time, it will increase our reputation, right? When we are clearly mentioning everything in our books, so it will make sure we are doing correct. But obviously, to report a new or to make a new report, there would be additional cost. And sometimes there can be ambiguity of measures, like we are using the measure of pollution, but some people might have issues. Okay, this is not the way. There are some other options also. So these are the benefits that we discussed are, first of all, the employee will feel good that this company is good, so they will work here. The customers will start buying more, the investors will invest more, so our share price will increase and there will be transparency. But the drawbacks are there will be additional cost and ambiguity of it. Now, the next topic that we are studying is integrated reporting. So you will ask me, sir, first of all, what is integrated reporting? So you need to understand it is basically a linkage between the organizational strategy, governance, financial performance, and their social, environmental, economy. See, integration itself means it is a bridge, right? So it is a linkage between what? Let's say this is our government strategy, financial performance, and then there are some different things that is the social, environmental. Both things are equally important, right? A company with a loss, but just it is socially good, will we invest in that? No. We want that its financial performance should also be good, plus it should have a social and environmental balance also. So basically, a linkage between these both reporting is nothing but integrated reporting. Now you understood what is integrated reporting? It demonstrates the linkage between an organization's strategy, governance, and financial performance and social, environment, and economic context. It helps businesses to take more sustainable decisions and enable investors to understand how an organization is really performing. An integrated report should be a single report, the organization's primary report, right? Central concept, the challenge of creating and sustaining value in the short, medium, and long term. So basically, we have to sustain the value. We need sustainability at the same time, we need financial performance. So managing both things together is nothing but integrated reporting. Now, obviously, the term is talking about reporting. So, what is the objective? So, the objective is along with the financial capital, we are giving quality of information. Like, okay, these are the numbers, but these are also the other factors, right? So first is the quality of information increases. Second, now we will be studying various types of capital. So we are not just focusing on financial capital, we would also focus on social capital, environment capital. So all these things will enhance our accountability on the basis of all capitals, right? And now we will have different reporting standards and there will be communication on full values of activities. So this is cohesive reporting because we'll have different reports on different things and we will be able to solve the problems in a more better way. So the point here is nothing but the cohesive reporting. And the next benefit of or objective of integrated reporting is integrated thinking. Because now we are making decisions not only just basic of value creation or short period, but also from medium and long period. Because we want to create it for long term, we want to sustain for long term. So the objectives of integrated reporting are quality of information will be there, cohesive reporting would be there, right? Integrated thinking would be there, and then accountability will be there because we will be thinking of all types of capital. So now what do you mean by the all types of capital? So we have six types of capital. Just before some time we studied the social, environment and constructed capital, but that were related to social factors. Now we are talking about integrated reporting. So now think of a business. The first thing or the first capital is the financial capital. Whatever the funds that are required for production or services, we will require it, right? So whatever the funds that are available with the organizations are nothing but the financial capital. Manufacture capital is all the material goods, all the fixed assets that are contributing to our production. Basically, the assets that which we are using, all the raw materials that we are using, is all our manufactured capital. So second is our manufactural capital. Now intellectual is by meaning the knowledge, the skills that our employees are having, the training that we have given them, that is providing us competitive advantage. So that is nothing but integrated reporting. Right. Now next is human. Human, as we already discussed, the people's health, knowledge, skills and motivation. Social and relationship, we need to understand that we have to maintain our human capital in partnership with family, communities, and business. We should have relationship with every one of them. We should have a social interaction. The more network we have, it will help us. So this is our social and relationship capital. And the last but not least is the nature slash environment. Right. So all the flow of energy, material that is producing the goods and services, right? The effect that we are doing to the environment, all the things which we are using of the environment is our natural capital. So the six type of capital here are HIM. Him. Him is nothing but human, intellectual, M is manufactured. Right. And then after him, we have FSN. So F is our financial, S is our social, and N is our natural. Right. So these are the six types of capital that are part of integrated reporting. So first, what we studied is what is integrated reporting, then we studied the four objectives, then we studied the six types of capital. Now we would be studying the seven principles of integrated reporting. So the first principle here is strategic focus and future orientation. So now you will ask me, sir, what do you mean by strategic focus and future orientation? We need to understand that when we are doing the integrated reporting, we are doing it so that we can have a long-term vision, right? Long-term growth. So whatever we have thoughts for short term and whatever we have long term thoughts, we are trying to integrate both so that we come to a stage where we can manage both things. So whatever the significant risk opportunities we have and whatever the management has views on all the above, we will make sure that we are balancing the short, medium and long term interest. Second is the connectivity of information. Now you'll ask me, sir, what do you mean by connectivity of information? So it shows a holistic picture of combination, interrelatedness, and dependencies between factors affecting value creation. You need to understand when we are talking about integrated reporting, IR, what we are doing, we are connecting our financial information and our social information. So our information is getting connected. Why we are doing all this? To maintain the relationship with stakeholders, right? We are doing this to maintain the relationship with stakeholders. And at the same time, when we'll maintain this relationship with stakeholders, what will happen? Our future will grow. We are making this integrated reporting so that our future orientation is better, right or right, right or right. And also at the same time, when we will do the integrated reporting, obviously we want it to be concise. It should not be like we are writing thousands of pages, but at the same time, it should be reliable and complete. And always remember, whenever we report things, we take into consideration the materiality. The events that are not very material or very less material, let's say there was fraud of 5 rupees. Is it going to affect the company? No. But let's say there was a fraud of 10 crore rupees. It is going to affect. Right. So the principles of integrated reporting are they should be connected. We should have it will help. We should maintain relationship with stakeholders. There should be future orientation. We should focus on conciseness, reliability, and materiality. Hope you would have understood this chapter. In this chapter, we studied first the institutional investors and then integrated reporting. Now you need to understand in our question of Biago, right? So what they had asked. So they had asked to prepare a report for CFO which evaluates how the value created from food delivery would be reported in the six capitals of Biago integrated reporting. Right. So now they are asking, also they have said professional skills, commercial acumen, demonstrating awareness of the wider impact to create value for stakeholders. So you need to understand कि when they say prepare a report, so the first thing should come into mind the format. The format is it should be first to whom we have to write to CFO. Right. Now from whom? At start only we had studied कि we are the senior business analyst. Now what is the subject? We are writing our food delivery integrated report. Date September 2026. Now what they have asked? They have asked us ki how this proposal should be reported in the six capitals. So now the first we will think which are the six capitals. Human, right? It was our him. So I was intellectual, M was manufactured. Correct or not correct? Then we had social and environment. Then we had financial. And then we had natural. But just writing the heading, will we get marks? No. Now we will have to link each point with the food delivery. So now we will read the task exhibit. Right. So his is the exhibit. That is proposal for food delivery services. Is my screen visible, guys? Yes or yes? Yes. So now what is the proposal saying? So the proposal is saying an outline proposal by CCO for Biago to operate a food delivery system through Beeline. Right? So now Biago Bytes food delivery proposal key points from exhibits. So new service Biago Bytes food delivery service connecting restaurants and food outlets with customer via new app. So we are making a new app, right? Then the next thing that they have said, financing 350 million long-term loan required to finance the proposal. So we are requiring 350 million. So now this is nothing but our financial capital because this is what we are requiring. Understanding? Now the next is new headquarters. New headquarters, new state-of-art head office facility to be built in Bilan's capital city. Here, see, now we have new headquarters that is to be built. So this should come under a manufactured capital. Over 300 new employees to be employed. This would come under our human capital. First, what we will do, we will read the exhibits and we are just trying to distribute it under various capitals and then we will explain the same. Next is the revenue impact expected to increase current revenue by approximately 8%. Then there is delivery method. Food delivery drivers will be encouraged to use micro mobility options for sustainable delivery. Now see they are using cycles, so it will save our environment, right? So this is our environment capital. New Biago app to be developed for ordering from partner restaurant. Now we are developing a new app. So now new app is our development, guys. It is our intellectual property. Do you remember intangible assets? This is nothing but our intangible assets. So this will be our intellectual capital. Next is the marketing, significant marketing expenditure anticipated for free launch. Right. Then community will bring communities together by connecting restaurants and food outlets with customers. So when we talk about community, the social will come into effect. Right. And then alignment, consistent with Biago's vision of bringing people, businesses, and communities together. So this is nothing but part of social capital. So here we need to understand that these points we need to explain in our answer. Right, we were talking about 350 million is our financial capital and then the revenue is going to increase by 8%. Now coming back to our answer, we will write here in the financial key, it is estimated that the 350 million long-term loan will be required to finance this proposal. Right. This will increase our company's liability and will be committed to pay off the liability along with its financing cost. So this will deflate the net financial position in the short run. However, this proposal will increase current revenue by 8%, which will go beyond the term of long-term loan used to finance these proposals. This will lead to additional profitability for shareholders, hence the net financial position will improve in the long term. So now here have you understanding how they have interrelated the short and the long run. So what they are saying, in the short run, due to loan, our profit will decrease. But as the revenue is increasing by 8% each year, in the future, our profit will increase. Right. So these are the points that we have to write in financial capital. Now we need to understand that if the total marks are 22, we have to write 10 to 11 points. So now as we have 6 capitals, so in some capitals we can write 2 points, in some capitals we can write 1 point. So now in financial capital we have written 1 point of this 350 and second point of 8%. So we will get 2 marks here. Are you understanding for each point? 2 marks and 2 marks for this point. Obviously, we'll not get out of, but we'll understand, okay, out of 4, we can get 3 here. Next point that we saw was manufactured capital, that we are going to manufacture a new state of art. Right. So that we will write here. The new food delivery will be housed into a newly built state-of-art facility in Bilan's capital city. This will increase the non-current assets of company and hence manufacturing capital will increase. Then we talked about intellectual, the app. A new Biago app will be developed which will allow users to provide food from restaurants and food outlets which are signaled up to Biago by its app. The development of this app will add to our intellectual capital and hence intellectual capital will increase. Are you understanding, guys, how the answers have to be framed? Since Biago has invested in technology, this will help in data analytics and will give competitive edge. They also interlink how it is going to give competitive edge. Then in human capital, we discussed that all 300 new employees will be employed. This will increase our workforce and more expertise and competencies. So our human capital will increase. Then in social, we discuss the point of connections, right? So the proposal will bring communities together to facilitating the connections of restaurants and food outlets with customers. Customers will have more choices and restaurants will benefit from additional revenue. Hence, this will strengthen relationship with communities, customers and suppliers. This will also create additional job opportunities for drivers for mobile mobility. Hence, we will create job opportunities in the society. Right. So, as we will discussing in each part, the last point that we discussed was using bicycles. As now they are using bicycles and economic and environmental friendly, it will reduce carbon emissions and increase our natural capital. Since TNC is considered as a significant contributor to air pollution, this initiative is in line with our mission for sustainable transport and growth. And then we will write best regards. So what we have done is first we have written report, then we have written introduction. What in introduction? These reports evaluate how the value is created and will be reported in the integrated capital. Then we have talked about the 6 capitals and then we have written best regards. So this will be your format of your answer and you will get good marks. Understanding, guys? Understanding or not understanding? Right. So now the next concepts will cover in the next lecture.